Hello, my name is Haley Osborne, and I teach at Lost Mountain Middle School, specifically in 6th grade ELA, and the purpose of this presentation is to inform 6th grade ELA teachers on our current status and see where we can improve in the future while looking at the data. Our school improvement goals include how to focus on teaching students when they don't know the material and when they already know the material on a day-to-day basis, and using intervention blocks an hour a week to support student learning specifically in math and ELA. A few questions to consider. What are our current strengths and weaknesses of ELA instruction? How can the ELA department use formative data to evaluate students' progress? Which group of teachers are not excelling in ELA, and what can ELA teachers do to help students move up to the next level on the milestone? Okay, here we have student enrollment data for the last 3 years by gender. In 2016 and 2017, we had approximately the same amount of male to female. We had 560 males and 567 females. The same occurrence in 2017 to 2018. We just had a few more males than we did females. And in 2018 to 2019, we had definitely more males than we did females. Okay, this is the student enrollment data looking specifically at race and ethnicity. As you can see that the race that is the greatest at Lost Mountain are white students. We are a predominantly white school, and our multiracial ethnicities are much lower. Hispanics are much lower. Our Blacks are much lower, and our Asian Pacific Islanders are also low in consideration to our white students. This is the student enrollment data for economically disadvantaged students. So based on their economic status, we definitely have more students that are not economically disadvantaged. Specifically, we have 125 students in 2016-2017 that are economically disadvantaged in comparison to 1,002 which are not economically disadvantaged. In 2017-2018, we have 121 economically disadvantaged, and in 2018-2019, we had 130 that are economically disadvantaged. Student enrollment based on whether students are English language learners. And we did not have any students in 2016-2017 that were English language learners, but in 2017-2018, we actually grew a lot, and we had 13 English language learners, and in 2018-2019, we increased that number by 10 and have 23. This is the student enrollment data with students with disabilities. Now, Lost Mountain does have a large group of students with disabilities, and you'll see that throughout this chart. We have 119 in 2018-2019 with a disability, 136 in 2017-2018, and 144 in 2016-2017. So if we look at that trend going actually in order, it is decreasing. This is the total number of teachers that Lost Mountain has. In 2016-2017, we had 65. 2017-2018, 64, and 2018-2019, 68. So fairly consistent amount. The total number of gender teachers, we have approximately more females than males each year, and that's consistent. In 2016-2017, we had 58 females and 7 males. In 2017-2018, we had 58 females and 6 males. And in 2018-2019, we had 62 females and 6 males. This is a total number of teachers based on race and ethnicity. We again have a predominantly white race for teachers as well. We do have a set of Black teachers and Hispanic teachers and even Asian teachers and also one that's multiracial, and that's consistent with each year. This is the total number of teachers with years of experience. So it looks like we are pretty fairly consistent in 2017 and 2018. In those years, we are having more, approximately within the same bracket of students and teachers that are moving from 1 to 10 years of experience to 11 to 20 years to 21 to 30. The numbers are consistently increasing, which is what we want to see. That means that we're keeping teachers. This is the ELA milestone learner levels for Lost Mountain Middle School. So here we see that we do have a certain percentage of students that are developing in both 2016, 2017, and 2018. It looks like we have the most developing in 2017. And then what I love to look at is our proficient learner levels. And we're consistent. We're in the 50s, if not high 50% for 2016, 2017, and 2018. And it looks like our distinguished is increasing each year, except it looks like it drops in 2017, which is okay, and then picks back up in 2018 with 22.8%. Okay, this is the ELA milestone learner levels by disability status. So it is pretty consistent that students with a disability are going to have, or they're going to be in a more beginning or developing learner level instead of proficient or distinguished. And the data that supports that is that we have 31.4% in our beginning learner level and 34.30% in our developing level. We have 57% with students that do not have a disability in comparison to 28% of students that are proficient with a disability. And then we have 5.7% that were distinguished, which is pretty good. This is again the next year of students with a disability status. And again, we see the same trend that students that have a disability are going to land more in the beginning and developing learner level. And this is 2018, 2019. We saw a great jump in our proficient learners for students with a disability. They are at 46.2%. This is the milestones for students that are economically disadvantaged and that are not economically disadvantaged. So we'll see that we have 34% developing that are economically disadvantaged and 52.6% that are proficient, which is great. It's only about 2% lower than our not economically disadvantaged students, which is fantastic. And this is the next year. We have pretty consistent developing and proficient for our economic disadvantaged students. And the same, it's starting to balance out here with developing and proficient. This is by gender. We see that oftentimes here our trend is stating that the males are going to the males have a very similar proficient learner level and have less of a distinguished, but they are very close to the females in the proficient learner level, and they are greater than the females in the developing and the beginning learner levels. And then it begins to drop. In 2017, we have a lower amount of males than females in our proficient, and we see an increase in males in the beginning and developing learner levels. And then in 2018, we see that we have significantly less males in our beginning and developing, and we even have more males in our proficient and our distinguished. Okay, this is the ELA milestone learner levels based on, in comparison to the district and the state, and it looks like Lost Mountain Middle School consistently surpasses the district and the state for both proficient and distinguished. And in 2017, we have done it again, both in proficient and distinguished. And in 2018, we have also surpassed our district and state 56.8% and 22.8% in our distinguished level. Some ELA weaknesses picked up on by the data. There are learning gaps between students with disabilities and students that are economically disadvantaged, even if they're small learning gaps. Based on the ELA milestone learner levels, it's evident that our students with disabilities and students that are economically disadvantaged need to be a focus in our classroom. A few ELA strengths: we consistently score higher than the district and the state. We consistently score higher than the district and the state in the following learning levels: proficient and distinguished. The proficient learning level is the highest throughout each subgroup. Next steps: make an action plan on how to best use formative assessments to identify and reteach the learning gaps presented by the students with disabilities and the students who are economically disadvantaged. Make an action plan on how to move learners up to the next level. Thank you so much.